You're on. There you go. Launch show. Global launch show live. You're on camera.
You know the time. Out to the bay, where the current home stories and the buoys all sway. There's a bright little girl with the name on the side, the bright idea. She's our pride. Oh, the bright idea. Oh, Chesapeake Peak, roll our way. Raise a cheer for the bright idea. From the south surprise out to the bay. Henry Huron stands tall on the rail. His legs like anchors and never quite fail. Keeps one eye on weather, one eye on the crew. He squawks when the skies turn blue. Hey, oh, what a bright idea. Oh, Chesapeake, roll our way. Raise a cheer for the bright idea. From the south surprise out to the bay. Crabs on the cooler claws clicking on tin. Blue shells gleaming like a sly little grin. He pinches the captain when it's time to depart. Says, cast off, follow your heart. Hey! Us at break of dawn, we sing till the stars are gone. Hey, ho, ho, the bright idea. Oh, Chesapeake, roll our way. Henry cries, our brave idea. Crab takes time as we sail. Oh, the bright idea. Oh, when the tide sets day, dogs got tied on the Sassafras River, dreaming roots for another day.
Don't get excited. There's more music.
Is there more music?
There's more music.
Push off slow from the pilot, coffee steam and diesel hum. Shot spread out on the cooler, soft
Ready to do this? Yeah. Welcome aboard. We're just going to wait a minute or two till we hit 7:30. We want to be true to time.
Tugboat names on the shoreline, like an old friend.
Sound pretty good, don't I?
On the way, crabs on the paper plate, from the flats down past Annapolis, dock lines, stories and careless bits. Ospreys circling, herons in the reeds, eagles riding high for the shipping lanes. They're so big, it carries everything.
If you're a Laker fan,
What did you do?
I got off the playlist.
If you're a Laker fan, you had.
I'm off the playlist.
All right, we got 2 minutes, so.
We just ride away. Baltimore glass in the distance, stack lights blink through the morning haze. Graffiti on the grave silos mirrors all our days. Skipjacks lean by Tillman, hands cold hauling frozen road. Watermen laughing about the weather, rust and gray sand road. Got old play on the way,
That's awesome.
grass on the paper plate.
I think we wait till we actually have something to pop
Minneapolis, dark lines, stories and gas spits. Ospreys circling, herons in the reef.
I'm trying to find the.
Push off slow from the pilot, coffee steep.
This one's Tricia's favorite. She's a big fan of country music.
Country music. But I like this song.
It's 7:30. Nobody's here.
Snowbanks on the driveway, trailer buried in the yard. I scroll through summer photos like I'm pressing on a bruise too hard. Dock board stacked in the garage, ropes coiled on a dusty nail. I'm thumbing through last year's maps, tracing every crooked trail. I'm just counting down to boat season, Xing out days on the wall. Got a cooler, got a playlist, got a reason to
Now we have nobody.
sunrise call. Yeah.
We had somebody.
Cabin fever's got me
Did?
dreaming.
Yeah,
Wakes
Oh, now
and
it says zero.
it's a 0.
So are we not on it?
Let's not count us.
Season, where the water scrubs me clean.
I'm back. Hello, welcome. Somebody's here.
Welcome.
This is an original tune, believe it or not. Talking about boat season, right?
Weather app on my phone, 10-day tease, and then it lies. One warm day and it's sleep again, but I still keep my shades nearby. Life jackets in the hallway, like bright ghosts of better days. I swear I smell that bay wind in the middle of a soft gray. I'm just counting down to boat season, Xing out days on the wall. Got a cooler, got a playlist, got a reason to answer every sunrise call. Yeah, this cabin fever's got me dreaming of wakes and wind and gasoline.
Whoever you are, number one, put your name in the chat. We'd love to hear who you are and say hello.
Turn it down a little bit.
First morning out, I can feel it.
You got somebody watching, put your name in the chat. We'd love to see who you are. Drink a beer with you, right? Hello. I think it's time we get this started, right? Let's get on the. We got one little. Let's do this. There we go.
Oh my gosh, this is my mom.
Tricia's mom just called, so imagine that. All right, guys, here we are. So I'm waiting for my co-host.
Oh, so you haven't subscribed yet.
We will get started in just a minute, guys.
So there's a button that says subscribe. And
Let's listen to that theme song one more time. Hello, co-host. Well, hey guys, welcome aboard. I'm Rick,
I'm Tricia.
and this is Sidelines to Shorelines, and this is our kickoff show on YouTube. We're live, so crazy things can happen. Your mother-in-law can call. Hi, Marie. Glad to have you here. So just kind of want to talk to you a little bit tonight before we have our brand new launch video, which we're thrilled to share.
We're really excited.
Where did we film that?
We filmed it at the top deck of the Celebrity Eclipse on our cruise last week.
Yeah.
So that was really exciting.
Hence the sunburn, right? So this is the welcome show if you want. And who are we besides just being Rick and Tricia? I'm Rick Creveling and Tricia Creveling. We live in Middletown, Delaware.
We've lived here for about 6 years.
Yeah.
Before that, we lived in Newark and Bear. So we are I'm a lifelong Delawarean. Yeah. Rick's a transplant.
Yeah, I've been here 30 years, so I feel like I'm almost a native. But grew up in Central PA and go back. I hail from the University of Pittsburgh, so hail to Pitt.
Go Blue Hens! I'm a Blue Hen girl, University of Delaware.
And so, what brings us here? So we're starting a new adventure in life. Besides just being new boaters, we are now
empty nesters.
Yeah.
So we have twins, 18-year-old twins. And let's just say before this, our life was full of
soccer,
and more soccer.
And our twins are Colin and Mal, just in case you wondered.
Okay. So every weekend, so the kids played school soccer and were on elite travel teams. As they got older, we had more and more games and tournaments. So every day we were either playing at a school or every weekend we were at a tournament. Sometimes we had to split. We each go to different states.
Coaching sessions, needless to say, all of our time and all of our money.
So every year,
the great game, right?
Soccer, and it just became more and more and more until all of a sudden they graduated and
poof,
no more.
Yeah, and we, not to say that we didn't love it. We had a ball, literally, right? And the kids have fun, develop great friendships. That really wasn't intentional, but they got a lot out of it. They made lifelong friends and have a lifelong love of the game. They're playing a lot of pickup soccer in school. They decided not to go on with the school teams. They're pursuing other things, but directions they went. So Mal, my daughter, I'm a very proud papa because she went to my alma mater, University of Pittsburgh. So again, hail to Pitt, and she's a proud. I'll give a shout out to D Phi E, Delta Phi Epsilon sorority girl, and sings in the Heinz Chapel Choir, Pitt.
And Colin, he went to the George Washington University in Washington, D.C.
Raise high.
So he wants to be an ambassador or a diplomat. So he is getting to experience all the lovely things that government is going through right now. And
then some. So he's getting an eyeful in Washington, but it's great. He's having a ball. Just got through cherry blossom season. So what are we doing? And what are we doing now? How do we get here? So last as stuff was dropping down. So yeah, live TV, folks. Here we are. So Colin came to me at the end of the school year last year and said, "Dad, you're really gonna need a hobby. All you do is soccer games." And he kind of was right.
He was. So we threw around some ideas, including a backyard pool, which was my favorite. But Rick really liked the idea of trying out boating. Now, neither of us have grown up boating. We've not been around boats. We are complete newbies when it comes to boating. So we thought, why not? This is a new adventure. Let's try things out together. And
that's how we learn and push ourselves a little bit, right?
Right.
So what does that mean? What does that look like? How do we get here? How we got here is we did a lot of internet, right? So hello YouTube, hello Facebook, hello Google AI, Gemini, what have you. But we did a lot of research. We didn't even know how do you buy a boat? Where do you look? Was it on Facebook? Do you buy it off so So we discovered these things called brokers and learned how to shop for a boat.
Right. And we ended up picking one out. And I told Rick that if he was going to buy a boat, I got to name it. So he found the boat and I named it The Bad Idea, which
Really?
gets a lot of chuckles.
The Bad Idea.
It gets a lot of chuckles from a lot of people. However, I didn't mean for everything to go bad. So
It was a little bit of karma came down the pike a little bit, right? So what happened? So first of all, we bought the boat over in the Indianapolis area and had to wait till spring to bring it over. And so our friends Robin and Scott helped us bring it across the bay.
Yep.
Shout out, guys!
Robin
Thanks for the
Scott
help.
Moxley.
Lots of friends, lots of help here. But we brought the boat over, got
And
it
we
settled.
did take lessons.
Yeah, we took
so
lessons.
I want to shout out to the Upper Chesapeake Boat School, specifically Alan Rowe, who was our captain as our teacher. We took lessons. We knew how to drive the boat. We knew how to dock the boat. We knew what to look for. We knew how to read the markers. However, what we were taught didn't always happen.
What's interesting that we're on the Sassafras River, which is one of the rivers in the Upper Bay. There's three sections of the bay: the Upper Bay, the Middle Bay, and the Lower Bay. Pretty obvious, right? But the Upper Bay is where we are on the eastern shore of the bay. So Baltimore's on the western shore. We're on the eastern shore, and we're on the Sassafras River. Amazing history, lots of stuff to come about the Sassafras. But one of the things about the Sassafras, it's a sandy bottom river. So the sandbars shift around a little bit, but you really have to know the markers. And it's not intuitive. So you would think, like, if I go down the center of the river, yeah, hey, I'm great, right? Not
No.
so much. These markers are really
They're really important. And if you get out of one, like we did, unfortunately, you hit a sandbar. And there's a saying in boating that says you either hit a sandbar or you're a boater just who hasn't hit one yet. So it's not an uncommon thing. However, because that wasn't in part of our lessons, we didn't quite know what to do at that point. And Rick tried to get off of the sandbar by
I would, like, if I were driving in the snow and it got stuck in a snowbank, maybe I'd try to power out of it.
Right, gun it and try and get out of the snowbank. Unfortunately, you can't do that with sand.
Yeah.
Sand gets sucked into the motor. The entire motor gets clogged, and unfortunately, it's not operable after that point.
Yeah, and the value of the engine is really trumps the value of the boat at that point. We had a 20-year-old boat. It's a cabin cruiser. It's kind of like our camper on the water, right? I was going 30 knots and 10 feet of water, and all of a sudden I was in 10 inches of water. It was a very sudden stop. Called in the emergency line. The Coast Guard called me and asked me if I had enough food and water on the boat. I'm like, guys, I can walk ashore. I think we're good. I made the shameful call. I was glad to call for help. I called Towboat US. Captain Dave, shout out to him. If you don't have a towboat subscription, you don't belong in the water. That's
right.
We should be sponsored by either Towboat US or Upper Chesapeake Boat School. We'll talk about that later. But anyhow, called out to Captain Dave. He came and towed us in. Next call I got was from Captain Allen. You all right? I'm like, I'm a little ashamed. But we got the boat in. Got the bad diagnosis that it was going to get fixed.
It was kaput. So we decided to try again. We decided to try again with a different boat. We found a little bit of a bigger boat, which.
Well, let's back up. That happened because of the good folks at our insurance company.
Oh yes, go State Farm.
Yeah, big help there. And the good news is we were actually able to take a step back and see what we regretted from our purchase. A little buyer's remorse that we had. We loved the first boat, but we were like, hey, it'd be better if we had two engines. Actually,
right.
One thing we learned, it's a lot easier to drive a boat with two engines. A lot easier to dock. It's kind of like the zero turn mower that I have up front, right? A lot easier to navigate. Just more power, more
right.
It works better, right?
And this one's a little bit bigger. It's 2 feet longer and a little bit wider, so we're not on top of each other. Has a nice swim platform that we're aching to use this summer. Yeah. And so we decided to call it the Bright Idea.
The Bright Idea. So as far as karma, I think we're already off to a better start.
I hope so.
And we're super excited. It's in the process. We were hoping to do this broadcast from the boat. As being a boat owner, we've learned things take time. So we're on schedule. We have a couple last minute repairs to take care of before we drop it in the water, because every time you pull it out, that's another paycheck to the marina. So we'd rather have it done before we splash. Right. So It's all what they say. It's in the yard or on the hard right now.
Yes.
And our mechanic, shout out to Chris, right, is replacing or reworking one of our drives. We're getting it detailed. It's going to be beautiful and shiny. And we've got some cool renovations planned for the season too. We're going to tear out the carpet. We kind of feel that carpet on a boat, not a great idea.
It's 20-year-old carpet.
So it looks as pretty as it's going to look, but we're going to tear it out and put in some waterproof vinyl. We're excited about that. I think it's going to be a good look.
Yep, we're going to get a new table in there.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna make it our own.
Hey, just noticed a couple more folks dropped in, so feel free to put your name in the chat. Say hi. This is all about a conversation. Glad to have you here. So welcome aboard.
So let's talk a little bit about where the boat is and our marina and what we can, why we like our marina so much.
So we're on the Sass.
The Sass.
The Sass is kind of a little sassy, but it's the Sassafras River. Was originally called the Tuckwaw River after the Indians, and then got renamed to the Sassafras kind of after the trees that were there. And
so our marina is called the Georgetown Yacht Haven.
Sounds fancy.
It is, does sound very fancy. Yeah. And it sits at the bottom of a hill. There's a really nice inn and restaurant at the top of the hill called the Kitty Knight House, and the restaurant's blue.
The restaurant is
we just call it the Kitty Knight
restaurant. Yeah.
So we really like that marina, and the people have just been absolutely awesome. I will tell you one thing about boaters. It doesn't matter if you have $500,000 boat versus a little first time 20-year-old boat.
Yeah.
They are very helpful. You're a boater, and they are very helpful. There's
always somebody on the docks if you're coming in and like, oh my God, I can't get this thing in. Somebody will grab a line.
Someone will grab a line and say, you need a hand, and we'll throw a line to them, and we'll get that in.
It comes back in spades. So
absolutely.
We're pretty excited about the community, not only the community at the marina, the community that we're building here, but the marina is a blast. We really love being there. The setting's beautiful.
Oh, the wildlife that you see. So
I know where you're going with this one.
Yeah, you're going right to Henry. Henry is our resident heron. So we have a heron who exclusively poops on our finger pier. I don't know why.
He's a great blue heron.
He is a great blue heron, and he likes to watch us get prepped for the day. And like I said, he makes a mess on our finger pier. And he's really not afraid of people. He won't let you touch him, but he gets pretty close.
He'll kind of walk down the dock with you, which is pretty fun. He's looking for a meal, actually. So
I think so. So we get to watch Henry. I named him Henry, and then we've got some bald eagles. Bald eagles are pretty prominent in our area. We've got a pair, and they should be hatching.
There's a nesting pair right behind the yard.
Yeah.
That we were over the other day, and they were kind of wheeling in the sky. And if you kind of look it up, and actually I think I put it online the other day, the Upper Chesapeake has one of the highest concentrations of bald eagles in the nation. So it's kind of like great American stuff here, but kind of cool to see the bird in flight, and we almost get a little jaded because we see them all the time.
Yeah, and we see ospreys as well.
Yeah, and the osprey are cool because here's the cool thing: the osprey they nest on the channel markers a lot and in the water, and the cool thing is they travel from South America every spring. They go all the way down to South America.
Wow.
So fly the friendly skies. They've got some
air
miles to catch. Yeah, but kind of exciting to see that the osprey. Tons of fish. We got lots of catfish. In fact, we've got too many catfish. It's actually illegal if you catch a blue catfish in our river. The state of Maryland won't let you put it back because they're a little invasive. So if you want a good meal of catfish, come on down. We'll make a deal. There's rockfish, and all sorts of stuff. I mean, we just had our Shark Week. We don't have a ton of sharks in the northern part of the bay. That's more the southern bay. But it's a possibility.
Everything's a possibility on the water.
And the thing to think about on the water that we have, the northern Chesapeake rivers are brackish rivers. If you don't know what brackish means,
it's a mix.
It's a mix. So it's not fresh. It's not salt. It's a little bit of a combination. Right now, if you look at the water that we have, it's mostly fresh. And the nice thing about that is we don't get the stinging nettles. So like the what do you call them? Jellyfish. We don't really have the jellyfish. Like if you're more towards the Baltimore area, Southern Bay, you can't swim as much because you can get stung by the nettles. We don't get the nettles so much. As the Great Susquehanna River that empties up in the top of the bay, that's the biggest water source for the Chesapeake.
Mhm.
I'm getting to be a Bay nerd, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But that as that dries up in the summer a little bit, and they slow down the release on the dam,
Mhm.
it actually the salt water starts moving up.
Right.
We start seeing the crabs around July, August.
Right.
So crab. So our other mascot, forgot to talk about crab.
Our other mascot is Crab. Why didn't we name him?
Wow. Because we don't know if he or she for sure, or if it's always the same one. They're kind of so ubiquitous. And the other reason we didn't name him on the as a mascot or on our boat mascot is he's too delicious. So we don't want to talk about our food too much, right?
Hey, I want to give a shout out right now to Eric K. He's joining us from Lewisburg, PA. So thanks so much for
Eric
joining
Kilpatrick,
us.
one of my great friends from high school. So cheers, Eric and Sarah. Free rides on the Bright Idea anytime you're down. So let's talk about the bay a little bit more. The bay is an incredible piece of water. It is actually the largest estuary in the United States. If you take all the curves and grooves and
Nooks
and crannies, English muffins, right? If you look at all the creeks and all that stuff, if you add up all that coastline, that's greater than the coast of California, just on the Chesapeake.
Wow.
And when I bought when we bought the Bright Idea, we bought it in Occoquan, Virginia, and it's a 2-hour drive to where it was docked.
Right.
But
so we thought no problem, right? 2 hours.
It was almost an 11-hour ride. So again, shout out to Captain Alan Rowe, who we hired.
Yep, we called Captain Allen and said, "You want another job other than training us? You help us get this boat back here."
So 5 hours down the Potomac River. That was before the sewage leak. Another story. But they did clean up the river. So 5 hours down the river, night at Point Lookout, where the river meets the bay. It's 11 miles wide. The river, not the bay. The bay is 35 miles at its widest, but 11 miles on the Potomac. We had 4-foot seas with 2-second increments. So that means choppy, very choppy. Trish didn't come on that trip.
I didn't come on that trip. No.
So the second day, Cap had me do most of the driving up the bay. That was another 5 hours. So got to drive under the Bay Bridge, which is something I never thought I would do. And it was really, to be honest, was really very redemptive. It felt like we got this. So,
right.
So where do we go? So we're talking about the Bay. We have a real passion for the history of the Bay.
Right.
Captain John Smith, you think about the Jamestown settlement, Pocahontas. He was up here trading on the Northern Bay quite a bit with the Tuckwaw people. And they had their own towns all established. It was quite an amazing history. The War of 1812 comes around, and they burned the towns around where our marina was down to the ground. And the Kitty Knight story, we have that on Facebook, and we'll be talking more about that. Kitty Knight was not using her womanly wiles to save her end.
She was not.
We'd like to save her reputation a little bit. It's kind of a mission of Sidelines the Shoreline, as well as really talking about the preservation of the bay, because the bay really is the lifeblood of the area. And so we talked about the history. And by the way, shout outs to add to my reading list, and then anybody wants to join me in reading John Michener's book, Chesapeake. It's kind of aged a little bit, but great American novel about the bay. Something worth taking a look at. But
let's talk about the people.
The people are amazing, right?
The people are amazing. So aside from the boat people that we've met, we also have been meeting people in the community of Cecilton, Maryland. About a month and a half ago, we went to an art show there. And these were just your local people who live and work on the water. They either hunt or they fish or they trap. Good folk, and they make their livelihood all off the water, which can be fickle sometimes. So we're talking about people whose season runs maybe from May and June just until about October,
November. Then you got the oyster season, which oysters are just starting to come back. And fascinating at that art show, we met a family that there's 6 generations of watermen. So these aren't something that they've gotten into, like 6 generations of harvesting snapping turtle meat.
Right. And there were kids there who 6, 7, 8, 9 who are
they're all in.
They're all in on the boat. Yeah. Yep.
And they the bay can definitely be very rewarding. Some of these folks have some generational wealth, and come visit the bay. I mean, the towns in the bay, that's going to be part of our adventure is to show you these people, show you the great towns, show you what it's like to own a boat. We kind of have to move along because we banter a little bit.
Yeah, we do.
And we're excited for this video to drop in just about about
seven-
6 minutes or so.
6 minutes.
You're gonna have to, when you jump off of this video, you'll scroll over, you'll see
You'll see the new one.
the new video.
25 years.
Sidelines no more.
No more. So
you'll see our first launch video. We're excited
That's
about
right.
that.
That's right. And what else will we see on this channel? So on this channel, we hope to kind of chronicle the good, the bad, the ugly, the necessary. You know, what does it take to commission a boat? What do we do before we actually take off the first time? What are the safety items we need that the Coast Guard will ask for if we get boarded? How do we,
remember to turn on the blowers before you turn on the engine and don't blow the darn thing up.
The engine.
Yeah, it can happen.
What are some of the things that we have to do before we go out on the boat, and what are some of our experiences? We're going to be anchoring for the first time, and if those of you out there who are boaters, you're probably thinking, oh, it's no big deal, but we've never done it, so we're going to learn. Yeah. And then hopefully by the end of the season, we'll put up one that's, how do we decommission the boat as well.
Yeah, and this is us. We got another person joining, so welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard. Put your name in the chat so we know who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is all about us. This is about you. This is about the community that we're building here. A little bit of a tourist push, if you will. If you haven't been to the Bay, come to the Bay. It's
come give us a visit.
Yeah,
tell us you're coming.
Yeah, we got room, but it's an exciting place to be. It's not the tropical blue waters of the Caribbean. They're amazing too, but the life of this lifeblood of the Eastern United States. Mm-hmm. It's something that just has a million stories to share, right. And it keeps giving, and that's why we're here. And we're hopefully teach you a thing or two that we learn from you. And I don't know what else. What do we have as last words?
If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat.
Yeah, we did
we'll
promise
try to answer them.
We did promise that, so we blabbed a little bit. Anything.
And again, as I said, we are new empty nesters. So if you have any advice for us, you can go ahead and put that down there too. So we are getting used to our first year with our twins who went off to college. For those of you who just popped in. So our twins went off to college in the fall, and we are empty nesters. And we decided we're going to try boating. So we've already had a season under our belt, although not with this boat. We got a different boat. So go to the channel. You'll go to
the video. You'll see a little bit more of the story.
A little bit more of the story.
And there's a little bonus photo montage. You get to know the Krevlin family a little bit better. We wanted to introduce ourselves. So, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up.
Wrapping it up. So in just about 4 minutes, the new video.
Andy,
thank you,
hey Andy, thanks for coming on.
Cheers.
Yeah.
So in about 4 minutes, the new video will drop down. Right now, it says premieres today at 8. So
and there'll be a little countdown feature. So if it's not starting, it's YouTube. They're very strict, so it'll have like a minute countdown with just exciting music that I didn't write, but it's all good. So
we're gonna
play you out here to our little Sidelines
Thanks
to Shoreline
again for joining
theme
us
song.
on our launch video, and thank you for those of you who just joined us. And I hope to see you on the water.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
How do you like our studio? We had it built last week.
Okay, we got 3 minutes to go. This is exciting.
Yeah. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
Henry the heron stands tall on the rail, thin legs like anchors that never quite fail. Keeps one eye on weather, one eye on the crew. He squawks when the skies turn blue. Hi-hee-ho, for the bright idea. Chesapeake, roll away, raise a cheer for bright idea. From the sassafras out to the bay.
More to come, guys, and after this, we're still working on a video review of our celebrity cruise, kind of out of the scope of Chesapeake, but we're shameless promoters and people love cruise videos. What can we say? Cast off, follow your heart.
Okay, we get 2 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
You didn't know we got the Dropkick Murphys to sing this, did you?
Yeah, we lost somebody.
Good.
Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. I like the Shamrocks, Andy.
See you
All right,
soon.
See you on the water.
From sidelines to shorelines, we're trading in the clear for cool ways.